This is an EWB production. Hi, I'm Emmy Birch.
And I am Sandy Thornton, and this is the Take Us With You podcast.
Hey, Sandy, what's the Take Us With You podcast all about?
So glad you asked. In a sea of badness coming out of every news station, let's provide some light, laughter, and levity to this strange time we are living in.
I'm so glad that we're going to be going with you wherever it is you're going. Thanks for taking us with you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Take Us With You podcast. How's it going? I'm Emmy.
And I'm Sandy, and we are so glad that you're with us. This is our very first pod of the new year. Happy New Year, Emmy.
Can we say that still? It's almost February.
I don't even care. I feel like any chance that we can get to be joyful, let's take it. Happy freaking New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 2022. I'm feeling 22. I had a student yesterday say they just turned 22 like a week or so ago. And I'm like, oh, fun. How was it? I mean, other than I can listen to that Taylor Swift song and like understand it. And I'm like, what? There wasn't even a Taylor Swift song about being 22 when I turned 22.
Such knowledge now. Yeah, I remember being 22 and feeling like I had everything figured out. Well, joke was on me.
So much. Isn't that what your 20s is about? What a great little story for today's episode. Y'all, we're going to give you dad jokes. We're going to give you an article of joy and hilariousness because you know Sandy's the bomb at finding those. And then we actually have some content for you to ponder on as you take us with you wherever it is you are going. Let's dive in with some great dad jokes. I literally laughed so hard at this whole list. I've only picked a few.
Okay, deep dive.
To whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office, I will find you. I can't even say it. You have my word.
I still use Word, guys.
I do too all the time. I love it.
All the time.
Okay.
All the time.
How do celebrities stay cool? They have many fans. We're good. Okay.
That's good.
Now, this one really rang out because I ran this morning. And when I ran this morning, there were like a lot of student drivers on the road. So public service announcement, PSA. When a runner is choosing to run more towards the center of the road, they are not intentionally running into you. I would say 99% of the time. They are not intentionally trying to hog the road. But when you are running a lot of miles, roads are sloped. And when you run at the bottom of that slope, it jacks up this thing called your IT band, which is the muscle tendon thingy that runs along the side of your leg. So we run towards the middle of the flattest part of the road. We will get out of your way. As long as you're not speeding, driving erratically, or a student driver. And for the student drivers who are listening, please stay between the white lines because I can only jump so far away from you. You got to stay between the lines. Sorry for the PSA. Now we know. Anyway, that's where my final dad joke comes from. I was doing 400 repeats this morning, which is a quarter mile repeats, and I was listening to some Snoop Dogg. So, why does Snoop Dogg always carry an umbrella? A drizzle.
So, fun fact about Snoop. For Christmas, I got Ken this little writing pad, and honestly, I did it more for myself because I've never noticed him write on like a notepad ever. But it's a picture of Snoop Dogg down at the bottom corner. It says, "For scribbles."
For scribbles.
And I love it.
I love it. And I'm just like, oh, let me run really smoothly, just like his. Okay, I'm done.
Love it. I love it. Okay. Well, I do have an article for us, and this is from irishcentral.com.
I love Ireland.
I'm very excited about this. And like, if I look at it, there's this beautiful picture of like bucolic fields, and it says Irish Central. Now, I don't know anything about this website. It could be spammy as all get out, but we're going for it. So here it is. Title is Woman in Sumo Wrestler Suit Assaults Ex-Girlfriend Who Waved at Man Dressed as Snickers Bar.
Wait, we just need to unpack that. All right, we have an ex-girlfriend, a sumo wrestling costume, and a Snickers bar. Was it Halloween in the picture?
I don't know. There's no picture. It's literally the picture of Ireland. Gorgeous. And then this title.
Okay, that's not spam at all. Not spam.
Let's go with it. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we are. A fancy dress party in one of Dublin's best-known gay bars took a sinister turn when a woman attacked her ex-girlfriend, Adrienne Martin, in a row over a dress-up Summers wrestler suit. After a year of acrimony following their bad breakup, Sandra Talbot, oh, that's my name, not Talbot, but Sandra, 32, assaulted Martin with a bottle hidden under her costume in a fit of rage at the George pub.
What?
A Dublin court heard that Talbot lashed out at Martin in a row that began over the wrestler's suit that Talbot was wearing. The row escalated as the victim waved at a man dressed as a Snickers bar, the court heard. Martin told Dublin District Court how she was left with a large lump on her temple and still suffered from panic attacks because of the incident. But Talbot denied any physical contact and said Martin had, quote, ruined her life, end quote. Judge Catherine Murphy, now if that's not the most Irish name I've ever heard, I don't know what is. Judge Catherine Murphy fined Talbot 400 euros, because they use euros there. Sorry, everybody.
Are you sure?
It's the E with the dash.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's euros, right?
Who just got, pounds, England. Okay, we're done. We're back.
Right on. Okay. Adding that she hoped the accused could now put it behind her. Martin had been in an on-off relationship with Talbot for 3 years. The relationship ended in March 2007. When did this article come out? Oh, 2010. This is very old. Still funny, but a little irrelevant. Sorry, listeners at home, but just in case you were ever wondering,
like 11 years old. Oh my God.
Like I said, could be scammy, could be older than my children.
It's so obviously a new year. Hey, we're kind of out of practice, but I've never laughed so hard and so much this early in the morning on a random weekday.
I'm digging it.
This is awesome. For the listeners who are not watching, we actually have very similar hairstyles. I have a question. Do you put your hair in a braid when it needs to be washed?
I actually put my hair in a braid when I don't intend on doing it. So I did wash it this morning, but I was like, I'm not going to put the curly gel stuff in. I'm just going to throw a braid in it.
Okay, so
yours not washed?
Mine needs, it very intentional. I'm going to West Virginia Allstate tomorrow, so my hair has to be perfect. So I couldn't wash it yesterday because then it'd be looking used by the time I got to West Virginia. And I definitely couldn't wash it today because it'd be looking used while I was in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. So I had to make it last until tomorrow, and then I shall wash it.
Emmy, can you explain just like, I typically will wash my hair every day, which I know strips it of all of its oils, but this is what I do because that's my habit. But you don't wash your hair every day. And I feel like we may have spoken about this briefly on one of the previous pods, but like, what's your hair regimen?
So like curly hair all has different things. This is like a whole nother like conversation. It's like, but it brings me joy. We can talk fast about it. Curly hair is porous. All curls have different amounts of pores. Pores like the holes that your hair soaks up moisture, which is why a lot of curly haired people look like they are frizzy hair. And there's a lot of different things, and everyone's curly hair acts different, and your hair acts different when you're in different regions, when you're in different countries, when you're in different seasons. Like, you can't use the same stuff 24/7. So straight hair people, jealous forever that you can use the same shampoo and conditioner and the same hair products and your hair looks the same all the time. Shall never happen for me. However, I digress. If you wash my hair too much, it becomes a puffball of uncontrollable frizz, and the curls don't actually curl because they're like, you overworked me, girl. And so my curls have a mind of their own. You have to be very strategic on when you wash them and when you condition them. And don't worry, they also need protein masks and softening masks. Like, they are very high maintenance.
Wow, it's like having a friend on your head that just needs constant
very
help.
Uncomfortable. Like, and sometimes she's like, oh, you want me to look nice today? Screw you. Or, oh, you're doing nothing today. Let me be perfect.
Today is going to be a good hair day. Now, are you like Tabitha Brown? Have you named your hair?
Oh, yeah, no. I am not naming my hair. It's there. It's a thing. It's the curly mess, whatever. But today it's in a braid.
I love it. It's really pretty.
Well,
really
thank
pretty.
you. I appreciate your kindness. Curly hair. It's a thing. Speaking of things.
All right.
I have learned to fall in love with my curly hair. Like, I hated it growing up. I woke up every morning an hour and a half before school to wash, dry, and flat iron my hair.
Oh, Emmy.
Every single day.
So much. But you know what, though? Like, I think that is not abnormal. I remember waking up earlier during school than I ever would consider to do now. Like, just to do that, to like do my hair and curl my hair. And I was a teenager in the 90s. So we had the fun bangs and then do my makeup. And now it's a miracle, like literal Christmas miracle. If I can roll myself out of bed, throw a crappy ass braid in my hair, and maybe put on some eyebrows.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but eyebrows, mascara, and lipstick. That's the end of that story. That's all she wrote. That's all she
Mhm.
wrote. It's interesting to see those changes, but it's what you find value in. I think that's kind of the conversation for today is what
Yes.
makes you feel your best, what makes you feel valued, and understanding that that power is in change. I had to change my mindset and accept that I can be beautiful with curly hair when my whole mental conception of beauty growing up was that it was only straight haired people.
Well, and isn't that interesting? So I grew up in a community of like everybody in my school tanned beautifully because most of them were Italian and I am not, and I don't tan. And the second I walk outside, my skin basically turns bright red and then falls off. So like it's just interesting. Now I embrace the fact like this is exactly who I am. Like I am someone that cannot tan. I am someone that has hair with a mind of their own. And also I have a muffin top. But I love every part of me. This is who I am.
So how do we get there? How is that? How do we find the power in change? That's the question for this month's episode.
Question. This is our mini-sode, power of change. Sometimes it's the power of saying, no, thank you.
I'm still working on that button. Does that
It's
come
it,
with age?
I don't know, but it's something that I find so liberating. It's the because I mean, think about it. Like Sandy in her 20s, I was very much, and even like when I was in my 30s, very big people pleaser. I wanted to make sure I was doing all the things so that everyone could say, oh, look at her doing all the things. She's helpful. Now I'm like, I just want to do the things that are going to give me life. I just want to do the things that add value to my existence. And so if something comes on board that is not that, but that I feel this obligation to complete because it will please someone, I've had to work really hard on saying, no, thanks, that's not for me, but I bet somebody else will do a kick-ass job with it.
I love that perspective too though. Like you not only changed your how you look at why you're doing something, but what you're evaluating it as to when you accept it. Does it provide worth? Does it make me feel value? Am I doing it for the right reasons? But that last sentence is key. Someone else is going to do a kick butt job at it.
That's the thing. There are people that are in this world that will do all of those little things and do
And
them
they'll
really
find
well.
worth in it. And that's the key,
Yes.
figuring out what your worth and your value is. I know we've talked about this too with the pandemic. You know, we're entering year 3. I mean, rocky start to the year, whatever. But we think about like when it first hit in 2020, all the drive, all the talk was what are you learning? What new thing are you doing? How are you utilizing this quarantine COVID everywhere time
Well, are
to
you being
learn something new?
innovative?
Yeah, right. And then like that was year 2, like 2001. It's okay, so now we're all pros on how to do, whatever virtual thing. Pros very much in quotation
Pause.
marks.
I'm sorry for friends that are, friends that are just listening, not watching, like professional, like heavy quotes,
Heavy
guys.
quotes.
Heavy
Those are
quotes.
like bolded quotes, bolded, maybe multiple sets. But I think 21 was okay, not only did I learn all this stuff and I can do all this stuff and, look at my new hobbies, here's what I'm doing to innovate. And like, I am calling all this stuff out because I am totally guilty of it. Like,
Oh,
heck, I
same.
started a podcast in 2020, although I had wanted one for so long. And
Oh,
it
that,
really
but I
is so
mean,
much
think
fun.
about it. That podcast, though, again, it adds value to your life and it
It
adds
does.
value to the lives of those folks that are lucky enough to get on it, to
Yeah,
be
and
with
listen
you,
to
to have
it
those
and stuff.
conversations.
It's so
So
much
I
fun.
don't, but
I
yeah,
don't
like,
feel like that's a bad thing.
no, to your point though, like, you're absolutely right. Like, we had to literally go out of the frying pan
Mm-hmm.
into the fryer oven or whatever. Like, I don't know what the phrase is. I can't think of it. It'll come to me after the podcast is already done.
Um,
But
that's a thing of COVID. Like that's a side effect of COVID. You can't find words.
truth, words are hard, but like that was all year 1, and then year 2 is like, okay, now like you said, you have these skills. What are you going to do to push the envelope to the next level?
How are
And
you
part
going to
of
be
me
the
wants to
most
say,
creative?
nothing. I'm still surviving, and I'm still living with PTSD from year 1 in year
Right.
2.
So I think that that's what made me think about this conversation for this episode because here we are entering quote year 3. We're in 2022. Don't stop what you're doing.
No.
But don't just do something because everybody else is. It's okay to fall in love with a process. It's okay to find worth in things that other people don't find worth in. Speaking of which, I'm making the program book for Southern Region ACDA Conference, and I really love that. Never in a million gabillion years would I have thought that making a program book and learning a whole new program would be something that I liked. But I like knowing what's going on and I enjoy getting things organized. So I thought, I'll just try. Oh my gosh, it's so rewarding. I spent like 12 hours one day straight and didn't even realize I was in flow.
Wait, I was just gonna say you were in a state of flow. Good
I was
job.
super flow.
And so here, this goes back to what we said before. There's always somebody that relishes the thing. And that is a thing that I bet you didn't realize that you were going to relish.
I mean, it's hard to track down the last bit information and it's still a little stressful because there's a deadline and then you have to make sure it looks good and it gets there. And like those little pieces are stressful. But I've fallen in love with analyzing, okay, does this bring me value? Does it make me feel worth? And am I doing it for myself or for someone else?
That's the key. Like, is this making my soul lighter? And if it's not, I mean, granted, there are things that we all have to do to like survive. We all have to work to get money to pay bills. Like I have not become a billionaire yet,
No, working on that.
And so there are things like those are just a given, but like the things that, and I can't control that really right now. But the things that I can control, the extra things that come into my life, like I only want to do them if at the end of the experience, I can say, oh, that filled me like in a beautiful way.
And I think when you're filled, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's random busy work of putting together a program or developing lesson plans or creating that proposal or showing up and being present in that meeting. I gave Spence a masterclass subscription for Christmas, and we've been watching masterclasses instead of falling into different episodes on Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
Oh my gosh, I'm still falling into episodes.
It's okay. That's fine. You find worth. You find fun. That's still fun. We listened to this one by George Stephanopoulos, and he said when he's doing those massive, huge coverages where he's on air for 8 to 15 hours or whatever, you have to be present in that moment. And when you're present in that moment and you find that sense of flow, it's worth it. You might not remember anything afterwards. He's like, I have very few memories because I'm so focused on being in the moment.
Yeah. But that's still cool. But the thing is, he's on air. So no matter if he remembers it or not, it is recorded for all time.
You can go back. I just think it's interesting to weigh as we look ahead at 2022, being intentional acceptance. Those are my words for this year. I know we're only supposed to pick one word, but I picked two. Intentionally accepting everything that's coming.
Mine is do what you want. So if you want to find 2 words to describe your 2022, you're a grown-ass woman and you can do what you want. That's
do what you want. I love it. Do what you want. Well, this is it's fun to just hear what other people are doing to create a space, like a bubble in which you can live in. And like when you do it right, your bubble is overflowing and other people can bask in the glowiness of your bubble. Like I think of my students.
Like a champagne bubble, because that's the kind of bubble I like.
Oh, I was thinking more like a sunshine, like ray.
Oh, see,
but
good for you.
I'm liking the champagne bubble better. This is why we're friends.
This is why we're friends.
Hey, I bet our listeners are probably getting where they're going. They've taken us with them.
Oh, we're so proud of you, listeners. You stuck by us. We are in a new year. Same us, new year. That's what I'm going to say.
Same us forever. Hey, we're really excited that you're listening. This is fun to do. We enjoy unpacking these conversations together. Wherever you're going today, I hope it's an awesome one. Intentionally accept whatever it is and find your joy. Fall in love with the process, even if it means changing.
Y'all get those champagne bubbles a going, and we will see you next time.